So if you need to replace a front drive belt on a 1997 MTD Yard Machine or anything similar, I cannot find a video on YouTube on how to do this. So you start off by disconnecting the battery just to be safe. My method, you don't need to take anything out of here, like you don't need to take the rear belt off, but you start off by jacking it up or flipping it on its side, whatever you want to do. And then you have a bolt right here. You need to take that off. You need to take the spring off, and you need to disconnect the clutch linkage. So the first thing you do is just take this bolt off, because on my model, there's no way to take the plate off there. So you gotta take that bolt out from the bottom. This is a 9/16. Because it's under tension, I took a hammer and I just beat up on it. And then I went to the top. I take the hammer and I just pry up. Then when you're done prying, just pull it out. There should be a washer with it. Now this should move pretty loose because we just took the axle it sits on out. So the next thing to do, you take this cotter pin out so you can disconnect the clutch linkage. Maybe. And then make sure not to lose that cotter pin. So now just pull this bar down. You might need to depress the clutch, or it might just pull down. There we go. And then it won't go anywhere. It'll just sit there. So next thing you do, now this is completely free moving, this CVT. So you just take your spring out, should just come right out, like that. And then make sure it stays hanging there so it doesn't go anywhere. Now to get your lower belt out, the front belt, you have to take the upper one out first, the one in the back. So to do that, you should be able to just, I only have one hand right now, so I'm gonna have to stop the video, but just, take your finger, wrap it around the top pulley, it should come out. And once you got that out, since this moves, it should just come right out. Just like that. So now your CVT is out, and if it doesn't slide up and down smoothly like that, then it's probably time to replace it. In the front, you take your pulley off. So theoretically, you already have your mower deck off. There's videos on YouTube on how to do that, but you just take your pulley off. There should be a bolt in there. Make sure not to lose the spacer and the washer, but just make sure that's off. So now you can just take your belt, get rid of it, and then get your new one. Now to avoid frustration when putting your new belt on, I got very mad doing this, but make sure that you push this up and put your lower belt on first. And if you don't, these little guides here will get in your way and keep you from putting your belt on. Also, if you have, I don't know where it went, but if you have like a stud that's sticking out, you can just use a 7/16 inch ratchet and it should come out, because you can't get your belts off with that still on the CVT. And to make sure that your belt doesn't slip out of the guide here when you're putting it on, just put your belt around the pulley and take a zip tie and just tie it really tight around so that it doesn't slip out of the guide when you're putting the top belt back on. Just like that. Make sure it's really tight so it doesn't come undone, but now it'll stay in these guides. And when putting this on, just make sure that before you tighten everything down, that this is sitting in the idler pulley like that and not out there. Once you get your top belt in, it should be it should just be hanging there. You shouldn't have to worry about it going anywhere. Now you put your spring on again. And once your spring's back on, you just have to really fight this, which is a lot of work. Just remember that this whole, everything here, if you fight hard enough, it'll move because there's 2 belts. So just fight really hard, get this hole lined up with that hole. Make sure to put the bolt in first and just pull really hard. I'm pretty sure that there was a washer up there, but I didn't put it up there because I'd rather put it here just so it doesn't mess up the race. And it took me half an hour to do this, like 20 minutes, half an hour. This was exhausting, but just put your washer there and then your nut. And then once you have your pulley back bolted in, take your clutch linkage and reconnect it there. All right, now that's left, now that that's connected, you should feel tension when you push in your clutch, which I do. Make sure not to forget to cut your zip tie up here, and then just take your belt and put your engine pulley back on. When I put my engine pulley back on, I just have this ratchet strap here, and I just hook it up, pull the clutch pedal back. So with the ratchet strap on, I just take the pulley, make sure the small one's on top unless you're getting a bigger belt to make it a racing motor. And then when you put it on, make sure to slip your belt around it first and then push it onto the crankshaft. Just like that. Actually, I forgot. You need to put this on top like that. And if you don't do that, then it's gonna make your seal go bad for the crankshaft. It's gonna leak oil. And once you have that all tightened down, just depress your clutch pedal. And you should theoretically be good to go. There is another way to do this, the proper way, and the manual is online. This model here, the model numbers on all these mowers for all the years is behind the seat. It's right there, so that's this model number. But just reconnect your battery, put your mower deck back on, should be good to go.